The LiLoHia project is sponsored and brought to you by drlaura.live. With her, FruxTM, Music and Play, George Canyon, Krista Hermanson, and Terry McCallum. Original art and motion graphics by Malcom Carter, Chronos Global Media.
Another episode of the LiLoHia informative series with Gerald, Auger, and Sass Jordan, talking about topics that are really meaningful on our spiritual journeys in this challenging but beautiful world. I'm Dr. Laura, your host for these episodes, and today we are going to explore the power of intent. So when we think about intent or intention, what comes to mind?
Can I start?
Nope, you are.
For me, when I hear the power of intent, what comes to mind is when you ask for something or need something, it's how much intent you put behind that ask, that want, that need. But also, I keep in mind of what I learned in the wilderness, that you can lie to yourself, to your fellow human being, but you can't lie to the Creator, because the Creator knows your true intentions behind your intentions, and that the two of Creator's absolute laws come into play, where we don't have the authority to play with another human being's life, and we don't have the right to hurt another human being. Because when it comes to the power of intent, for me, is understanding Creator's greatest gift of free will. We are free to make choices, but we're not free from the consequences. If your intent behind your ask is to make you a better human being, to make the world a better place, then that's the power of intent in a good way. But if you use that intent for malicious reasons or for malevolent reasons or for selfishness, then that intent behind that energy is not going to be a good thing. And natural law will kick into in both ways. Natural law in a good way, natural law in a bad way if the intent is not of the light. So for me, that's when I talk about the power of it. And so I'm very careful, very mindful, and because I know the Creator never sleeps, Spirit never sleeps, so I have to be mindful of my intent. And for me, what I see where the world is right now, it's people's intentions are thinking they can hide behind closed doors with their intentions. I've done that in my own, when I wasn't awake, when I wasn't aware, when I wasn't where I'm at. But I had to be there then to know now that that's where I was in my evolution as a spiritual being housed in this human being.
So when you don't have pure intentions, when your intentions are selfish, greedy, right, or for power or ego, what do you feel inside when you have those types of intentions?
When I was in doing the Hollywood thing and living I thought I was living the dream but here, because of my emotional, my mental, my physical abuse that I experienced as a child, I was trying to get people's love and affection and attention by going above and beyond to get what I needed. But I was living in a world where there was a lot of chaos happening, a lot of people who didn't have good intentions. And I didn't have malicious intentions then. It was where I didn't know what I didn't know then, that when I was wanting to, I had to go above and beyond to get what I needed, the life I was living. But there are times where I knew that the people who were making me offers of money or fame or whatever, they weren't coming from a good place. And I said, I knew enough then that there was something wrong behind that. And I could feel the energy. And for me, when I was hurting people was because I was trying to overcome my abandonment. I was going into friendships and relationships. I was only to feed my ego because I didn't know that that's what I was doing. And so that was a part of it. And that's how the creator I've come to know now says, well, no, I didn't know what I didn't know then, but it's a different story now because creator knows that I know. So I have to be very mindful of my intentions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Intention.
What are intentions to you?
The power of intention for me is a focusing of life force in a specific direction, knowing what you intend. You don't need to know the details. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. I knew that I wanted to talk about this stuff publicly with my brother Gerald, and I intended that. I intend that this is going to happen. And by my intention, I tell the universe what it is that I'm looking for, but I do not tell the universe, creator, multiple words for the same thing. I do not tell the universe, I've learned this the hard way, how to make it happen. Because in my small, tiny mind, I have no idea of the synchronicities and the glorious people and things and events that can come together to make things happen. I would never have thought of any of this, you know? I wouldn't have thought of it this way. But I just said, this is my intention. I set that intention, and I managed to let it go. If you don't let it go, it ain't gonna happen, Captain. Or it'll happen, but it'll be skewed. It'll be off, you know, like something will be wrong. When you just let it go, God, that's hard to do. That is so hard to do because we've been taught the opposite our whole lives. No, you have to micromanage this or it's not gonna, you know, you gotta control it. I gotta control this. Well, the best way to be out of control is to try to control. That's so true, right? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so intention for me is really having a focused desire and beaming that up to Scotty on Star Trek and saying, Scotty, take this straight to creator, I need you. And then that's what it is. Being a pure intent. You know, it's all the things that you said too. It's all these things.
And have you experienced that working in a way that's really struck you or inspired you?
This, what we're doing right here.
So that's the thing.
It was our intention.
That was our intention, was based on what we've learned individually in our personal lives, in our professional lives, as an artist, me as a storyteller, as a musician. And
as a friendship?
Yeah, as a friendship. We realized, wow, we need to come together for the love of our fellow human being and take our life experiences and share with the world what we've learned based from our trials, our tribulations, our blessings, everything that's happened in life. And that's why when my sister came up with LiLoHia, when you say that there's love behind that, there's light behind that, there's gratitude, and that's intent. And that's kind of why we've been talking. We're blessed to have you as one of our team members who are sponsors for it, with Krista, with Darryl, with Ben being here. All our intentions are there to bring that love, light, unity, healing to the world. Just like last day when we did that spiritual healing circle. When one of them, when I was told to tell them, because it's not even me talking in these circles, it's a conduit for my higher power. And that's why I said to one of them, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Because who you surround yourself with is the intent you're putting out there. So if you're surrounding yourself with people, places, and things that are not good for you, then you're going to create, that intention is going to create your reality. But if you surround yourself with like-minded people, like who everybody's involved with LiLoHia, me and my sister, we had looked at, well, we had to be able to put it out to the universe, our intention to the universe, to bring the right people places and things to make this really what it is. And we were blessed to have you, blessed to have Krista, blessed to have Darryl, Ben, everybody else who've made this happen, because our intentions were pure, and it was to be a part of to create a pioneer the collective and navigate on how we can do that in a good way with good intentions. Right?
That's beautiful. So what I'm hearing is intentions can be spoken, they can be expressed verbally, or could they be expressed in writing, or how does the
Yes.
person who's new to this, how do they go about setting an intention for their purpose or their future?
The easiest way, I think, for me, is to write it. I intend to enjoy myself. I intend to find people that resonate with my highest ideals. I intend to hook up with these kinds of people. I intend to hook up with these kinds of situations. I intend to have a fabulous recording. You know what I mean? Like, that's my intention.
Yeah.
And everything is possible. We live in a field of potentiality. Creator. Everything is creator. It's a field of potentiality. When you make an intention, you give a structure to that energy that is everywhere, and you pull that energy into creating that structure. For example, this table, this shirt, were all ideas before they became the table or the shirt or anything, right? It was an idea. Somebody had an idea. And then they focused it with intent, that idea, and they created something that is now apparent in our physical space.
And I think it's about what Deepak Chopra says is it's intention followed by attention, right? So I think, and Gerald says you do your 50%, creator does their 50%. So it's about not just putting it out and not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, it's really understanding that any intention, good or bad, natural law was created for a reason by the creator that I know. People can't say, there are leaders who say, God bless this country, my country, but yet turn around and do the opposite and don't walk with love, light, and unity. Do you think, why would God bless something when you're creating chaos of what you're wanting for the people? And so it doesn't work that way for me. That's kind of why I've always been very mindful. And I just, the intent that I use, I just pray for the people. That's all I can do. Or those who are lost, confused, or broken, because they've all made choices. And for me, I've learned the power of natural law and the power of intent, that eternity is a long time to get it wrong. And I'm always very mindful of that. And the Creator knows that I know. The ancestors know that I know. So that's a part of it, right? So, and that's for this whole spiritual journey, this physical walk that we call, this journey we call life. It's going to come with trial and tribulation to teach you what those trials and tribulations are going to teach you, what you're doing with intent. But then the blessings that come are also showing you when you do the right thing with that intent, blessings will come. And that's so there are no bad people. We don't believe there are any bad people. There are people that are lost. And there are good people at the same time, right? But it comes down to, like what my creator said, everything is creator, but at the same time, free will is a gift. Like our brother George said, free will is a gift. And for me, when I wasn't grounded, when I wasn't awake, when I was still kind of plugged into the wrong source, I was not aware of the actions, of my words. And when I was forced, it wasn't even up to me. Creator said, okay, now you're done with that, now you have to get up. So I did, and then I was one of the Creator's most obedient soldiers. And so that's why I say, okay, well, that was fun. And then I have to do what I'm doing now. But I've also learned, I was told you can't be too spiritual and not be human. because we always
Right.
have to have
Balance.
a human experience. Balance. That's a part of it, right? So yeah. But I'm very mindful when I'm human and who I'm human with in that sense, right? So so that's part of it too, right? Because I know the Creator is knowing what I'm doing, and the Creator knows your reaction before your action in life. That's right. The Creator knows your true intentions behind your intentions, because the Creator already knows how you're going to react to that trial and tribulation next week, how you're going to react to that blessing that's coming tomorrow. If you're going to have gratitude for that blessing, and if that trial and tribulation comes, if you're going to say, why is this happening to me, and be that victim, or say, what is this teaching me, and take ownership. That's what I love about my sister. She says, I take ownership for my responsibility for the choices I make. That's power. To me, I'm honored when she says that, because that's taking ownership. And that's what the world needs to do with LiLoHia, and that's what we want to be able to bring, that awareness, that understanding to the world that doesn't know that they don't know. But just like there's people who don't know that they do know, and they do it anyways. Eternity's going to be a long time, is all I can say. And I say, LiLoHia and this, move on.
Well, that was interesting, though, what you said about attention, intention, and then attention. You said because it's not just going to happen without anything. That's a really super interesting thing that I'm exploring right now. Because I agree with you that it's not going to happen without some kind of, but I think we might be wrong.
Really?
I think we might be wrong, because I've had a couple of experiences, the beach thing,
Oh, yeah.
where I didn't even have an intention, except my intention was relax. My intention was to completely and totally relax. And I have never bloody done that before in my life. I'm quite sure you haven't. no offense,
I'll take
but
that.
I'm just saying, I don't think
try,
that's your
I
nature. We're not that, we're like types, right? To relax completely and totally. It's the strangest feeling. It's going to freak you out because you're going to try it, because I'm going to make you. But anyways, it is the most bizarre thing. And I spent 2 days doing this, and I'm lying on this beach because I had a book called Relax More, Try Less. That was the name of the book. I'm like, yeah, this is a good book. I know this is going to be a good book. And it was an amazing book. I was talking about it last night. It was an amazing book. And it just explained how to relax. Can you imagine that we have to be explained to how to relax? I mean, it's ridiculous. We should be able to do that right away, but no, not in our culture. No, no, no. So I'm lying there on the beach, relaxing. Glass of vodka. Because that kills bugs, and I was in the Dominican Republic. It kills stomach bugs, and I was not going to get food poisoning. Excellent excuse for my glass of vodka, but I don't care. Anyway, so I have that there, lying on the beach, relaxing, and I mean, it was the strangest sensation. I was no longer really aware of anything except the ocean, the feeling of the sun, the sand, the smell. It was like being very, very deeply grounded. I'm lying there. It was a glorious feeling. I had barely any thoughts. They would just sort of float through because I was busy focusing on the sensation of being completely relaxed. That was where I focused. My mind was focused on that. Took the mind out. Thank you, because you got to bypass that bugger. Anyways, so I'm like, my phone starts ringing. No, texting. It starts to ding. You got an offer for blah, blah. By the end of that 5 hours, I had $120,000. I didn't do a thing. I laid there and completely relaxed. Like, I mean, 120 grand ain't that goddamn much, but it sure was to me. I was like, I didn't do anything. I work my butt off, doing all this stuff and like and touring and singing and the insanely difficult, traveling and all that. It's intense. It's intense. Work my butt off. Do you think I make anywhere near that kind of money after a month of that? Not even close. And I'm just lying there. 120 grand. Thank you. So this is why I'm saying, I'm not totally sure that you have to really make some. Do you have to make something? I think sometimes yes, but the more relaxed and the less you're attached to the outcome.
Yeah, it's not attaching to the outcome.
And I had no outcome other than relaxing. But when I relaxed, my frequency went up. So now it was here, and anything that was at that frequency could come to me. Obviously, the 120 grand was an escrow sitting there somewhere. You know what I mean? Normally, I'm down here because I'm like, what I got to do, you know what I mean? So when you just take the lid off and let yourself just go whoop, that's when good things will come.
And that's what I said the other episode when I said, was it yesterday we were taping, and I said, I don't know where the series is going to go, or if it's going to go, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to let it go.
Yes.
And creator, it's in your
Detach.
hands now. I just, so because I didn't have I had good intentions when I said that. If it's going to help people, if we want it to help people, awesome. But if it doesn't help, if it doesn't go anywhere, then that's also awesome because it's in your hands, creator.
Yes.
Yeah. I've done my 50%.
Yes. I love that.
It is, right?
Yeah, and we all came together and we've done our percents, and we're hoping that these messages,
hopefully
of
somebody will
intent
resonate.
and grounding, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of tools and ideas as the series continues. But at this point in the series, we're really hoping that people are moved to growth and healing. And what else are we hoping
Looking
for?
at themselves. Looking at themselves, asking themselves, why am I here? Why am I doing this? If I don't like it, why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? Ask yourself these very sort of basic questions, and that, of course, will lead you into more what we call spiritual stuff. Boy, that word is overused, isn't it? We're always like, oh, trauma, spiritual, what else? Oh my God, it's like, but we have to use these words. What else are we going to use? We're trying to describe something, and spirituality is not something you can really articulate. You have to.
I wonder if there's a better word for it.
Well, for me, it's the world is going through a global shift in consciousness.
Yes.
Takes it all into play. Intention, spirituality,
consciousness,
belief, values, because it's because we're actually, for me, how I understand, there's a veil behind. We're on this side of the veil, and there's a veil behind. There's something behind the veil. For me, it's spirit, and I understand because that's all I've known in the last 31 years being on this journey is understanding. There is something bigger to life than what we've been led to believe, and I had to unplug to understand that the world is now going through a global shift in consciousness because the ancestors that I know from the stars had said we don't need physical vessels to travel. We're actually consciousness, and that's how we travel through time and space in consciousness. And I said, wow, that's a little deep, but I accept it and I embrace it because I've sat in ceremony and I've experienced that side of life, and that's the beautiful thing when I sit in ceremony. I'm sitting in a vortex. I'm sitting with creation, and ego is put aside, and just be in the moment and go to the center of the universe, however you want to call that, right? So it's beautiful because then you realize, wow, those little things that the world, those big things that the world makes you chase and want to be a part of, realize, well, at the end of the day, when you go on that spirit journey, you're not going to be able to take that money, that material with you. The only thing I was told, the 7 days, 7 nights I fasted out on the land, no food, no water. They says, don't worry what people say to you, do to you, or what you attain and amass in that physical world, because you're not going to be able to take that physical stuff with you. You will take the life experiences with you, because those experiences, your spirit experiences it as well, just as your humanness. So that makes it a lot easier for me.
So beautifully put. So in sum, it's about consciousness, conscious connections, rising our frequency, and
grounding.
Consciously, grounding so that we can be
And
more
rising
conscious,
frequency,
and waking up. which is where the word spiritual awakening comes from. But
Yeah.
I think the word spiritual is misunderstood
Yeah.
widely.
Yes.
And some people run from it. And that's,
Yes.
so I think the language
It's all woo-woo. Yeah, we have to.
we
it's
got to
the
work on
language.
languaging.
Yes,
So
we do.
join us as we continue the LiLoHia informative series with these beautiful souls, Sass Jordan, Gerald Auger, and me facilitating,
Yes.
Dr. Laura, learning a lot myself. Despite all my training in psychology, this is a whole different realm. But it can also help in the overall field of psychology over
Yeah.
time. I
Definitely.
believe. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely
It's a
part
psych-
of everything. Yeah. So, with that, thank you very much. Thank you for being here, everyone. And again, if you like this, share it. And we hope to put more of this into the world as we continue the LiLoHia series.
Yes.
So stay well. Namaste.
Hi, hi.
No matter what we lost, we make it right. I feel a change is coming. Let's see what love can be. It's gonna be all or nothing. Just believe till you see.
To subscribe to the LiLoHia project and receive upcoming episodes, updates, and announcements, go to www.youtube.com/@LiLoHia Project. You can also find the LiLoHia Project on Twitter @LiLoHia Project, TikTok @LiLoHia Project, and Instagram @LiLoHia Project. Thank you for listening. Hi hi.